Good morning. Happy Monday. I'm the Moon Mama. How y'all doing? What an incredible day we have today. Ooh, how y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? I am. This is kombucha, but it's honey sweetened kombucha. I love kombucha so much, and I'm needing to streamline my diet and get off meat products and sugar products. I have a really clean diet in ways that I love, and I need to clean it up even more. And so, um, sugar's in everything, and so not eating sugar is a really challenging thing to do because sugar is in bread. They put sugar in everything. So it's really interesting to see what we're eating and how it impacts our bodies and stuff like that. And the more conscious and aware I become, my body can feel all of that sort of stuff in it. And I just have to get rid of it. But my mind is slow to catch up. So the moon today is in Cancer, and we have a new moon. This is our second new moon in Cancer. In the last new moon in Cancer, Mercury was in retrograde and Mercury is now direct. This new moon is coming in on the Mars hour, which is, I think, at like 10 something Pacific Standard Time. And Cancer is the energy of the mother. It's the nurturer. It's your internal reality. And so, and this new moon is in opposition to Saturn in Capricorn. And it's the first new moon outside of the eclipse season that we had. So we really are giving birth to our internal realities. And this is kind of what I check in with myself on a regular basis because I do my astrology. I understand my astrology. I have an astrologer who I work with. I have people that I call and do readings for me because sometimes I can't read my own stuff. But I am currently in an opposition where the sun is in opposition to Neptune. My natal sun in Virgo is in opposition to Neptune. So that's like my energy is really high and really expansive right now because that's Neptune, but it can have the potential to be delusional. And so, it's my job to give you guys the information of what's going on from above, right? It's like there are plenty views, and there's the view of like right being in the thing and in the experience, and then there's a view from above, and then there's a view from the side and the east and the west. There are all sorts of views and perspectives, and we all have one. And the one that I am having based upon the astrology is from up above. And so what I know is that, I also don't listen to the media that much. I know what's going on, but I don't populate my brain with it, is what I'll say, because I know that when I populate my brain with something, that's going to become the reality. And many of us are that way. We literally absorb all this information, and then we're thinking about it all the time. And then we're projecting it into our realities through our feelings because it makes us feel a certain way. And then when you start to feel a certain way about it, then you begin to, sort of be strategic in your mind about how to protect yourself. And then you, before you know it, you're not present in the moment. And so the work that I'm doing, and I encourage many of you to do it, is to connect to your higher self. Because there is an aspect of you that knew you were going to be born at this time, that knew that this was going to be going on at this time, that knew what you needed to do for yourself and your family at this time. And the plans are already laid out. I promise you. I know that what I'm saying is weird, but I'm saying this based upon my relationship to consciousness and studying Eastern religions and studying, cosmology and astrology. I'm telling you, nothing is new under the sun. And we have done a lot of this before in past lives or other dimensions, and all that sounds so freaky, right? I know, like I feel so strange saying it. But all the thing that matters more than anything is that you are here now and that you have the capacity within you to release the old construct, which is about to go more cuckoo than you could ever imagine. There's about to be so much infighting and blaming and all of that sort of stuff. And if you can release it, just a little bit at a time, right? You have to do it a little bit at a time. I know when I was really releasing it, I used to have to check in with myself and just ask, like, am I crazy? Because it really is it's a detoxing of the belief systems. You have to let them go, and you have to do it slowly so that you won't go cuckoo, because it's all you've known. And what you're going to do is be able to move your consciousness into a greater flow with cycles and nature and something broader than this very myopic point of view that we have going on in the West here. And so it's my promise to be able to share with you what's going on from above. And in doing that, it's like the helicopter that's seeing what's happening, right? And so all I want you to know more than anything is that what's happening on the ground is distraction. The cosmos are opening up. And I know it's hard to believe because everything is so crazy. So you have to do things to tap in. You have to spend time in nature. You have to pray. You have to meditate. You have to clean out your diet. You have to stop listening to television and the media. You have to do things that will open you up into another way of being. Or like one thing you can, there was a time when I would only listen to like 30 minutes of media a day just so that I could get a feel for what was going on. Now I might listen to 30 minutes of it a week. I'm serious. But because there's so much grabbing for you. So what I want you to know is that today is a beautiful, auspicious day. It is a beautiful, auspicious day. And it is significant for you to get clear about the highest intention for yourself, just for right now, and sometimes, you might not want to make that really general. That can be something like, I want to experience being the truth of who I am. I want to feel loved. I want to feel connected. I want to feel seen, but something that you feel connected to, truly, something that comes from within you. You want to really give yourself permission for that today, because we're having this new moon in Cancer, and it's a beautiful energy. And it's an energy that's going to deliver us to ourselves. The Cancer is our internal reality. It's who we are inside of ourselves. And you've always been this person. And if you can, let go of your judgments or, your limited ideas of who you are, and just believe. There was a time when you knew. There was a time when none of this stuff was, there was a time before you were controlled and before you were trying to fit in, or maybe you grew up with a parent who was like, you got this, the world is yours. Maybe you always felt this coming. And I hope that you have. I know that I have on some level. And in doing so, it's important to come back to that today. Come do something today. The energy might feel heavy. I don't know, for those of you who have given birth, I remember the day that I went into labor. Lord have mercy. This is that day, right? This is that kind of time. I went into labor. I was at Whole Foods on Fairfax on 3rd and La Brea, and I wanted a turkey burger so bad. Like, I just had to have a turkey burger, and I was at Whole Foods, and I had to go buy a nightgown that I could take to the hospital with me. I had everything packed, but I didn't have a nightgown. And I had my first day off work. It was my first day on maternity leave. And I had been hanging out with a girlfriend that day who was like coaching me and just sort of like being present with my labor and understanding my relationship to my child. And it was just a very beautiful, work that I was doing with her. And she had come over just to hang out. And then I went to go get a turkey burger at Whole Foods and went into labor. That pain kicked in, and I was like, woo, Ooh, and I sat down and ate that turkey burger in labor. And then I got myself up and walked over to Kmart to go get the gown, called a girlfriend of mine, and was like, I'm in labor. And she was like, go to the hospital. I was like, nope, I am going home. I'm going home because I am not going to the hospital by myself. So I called my husband and I was like, look, I'm in labor. And he was like, okay, I'm on my way. And when he came home, I was on all fours, just moving around. I was in so much pain. And to my point, it's like, if you've been in labor before, this is the moment when you know that you just have to surrender. You have to surrender. And I know in the West, they don't teach us to surrender. They teach us that you can get an epidural and you can control the pain and you can cut the baby out and you all these things. And when we need to do those things, it's good that we have them because sometimes we need them. Absolutely. To save lives and to make sure we're safe. And sometimes those things are an impediment to our becoming. Sometimes those things handicap us from being who we're really capable of being and doing what we're really capable of doing. And sometimes all we need to do is just surrender and go deeper and let go and trust. And this is that moment. This is that moment. So I encourage you today, while the moon is in Cancer and it's a moon day and the sun is in Cancer and it's the new moon and it's the beginning of an entirely new cycle, I encourage you to ask inside of yourself for the most amazing thing that you can be. Not that you can have, but that you can be. And in that, trust and then surrender and sit still and love yourself and nurture yourself because you are beautiful and God is good through you and as you, and you are a creator. And, I hear people ask me all the time when they're having bad experiences, why would I create this? Why would I create this? Why would I create this? We create these challenging experiences because they help us wake up to who we are. Because when things get so tough, you go, what can I do to get out? And then you become something different. That's why we create the most challenging, painful experiences because they push us to be more. And so let's hold right there. Let's hold right there and remember who we wanted to be when we were children. And remember that God is here, that we're never alone, that there's something more powerful happening right now. We've always known it. And even though we're not completely clear, it doesn't matter. Like those moments before you get ready to push that baby out and you know that baby's in there and you've not seen it yet, but you know that baby is coming. We're there. We're there. And so I just trust in the name of everything that is good, holy, and sacred, that all is well. And that right where you are, God is, as you, through you, and in you. And that the Goddess Supreme reigns in your life, in your consciousness, in your heart, and your soul. And that all is well. And so it is. Have a wonderful day. Peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Bye-bye.